New Year's Eve, 2019. I got a phone call from my team in China, and I was informed that there was 27 cases of an unspecified pneumonia. From the beginning, my antennas were up. I called my counterpart, George Gao, who was the head of the CDC in China, and he said it came from the wet market. And viruses go from animals to humans. When you look at SARS, it went from a bat to a civet cat to humans. MERS came from a bat to a camel to humans. It takes them a long time to learn how to transmit effectively in the human species. And this virus immediately understood how to replicate effectively in humans. It was clear from the information I was getting that there were literally thousands of patients, if not more, and getting some intelligence feedback that this was a major issue. Everyone, without any critical analysis, attributed this to the wet market. And nobody went back and looked at people that had nothing to do with the wet market. And a couple days later, George Gao called me back and he said, "Bob, we have hundreds of cases and it has nothing to do with the wet market." So we knew by the first couple days in January that this wet market story, in my view, was a ruse. I called the National Security Council and I told them that there was a situation in China, and then I called Anthony Fauci. And I told him, as a clinical virologist, this virus was way too infectious in humans right out of the gate. I felt strongly that it had been educated in the laboratory.